Hey guys, this is Josh and I am back with a Kenmore HE washer and matching dryer set. I've got this one hooked up, running. Right now it's running some water through right in here. If you pull out the little soap dispenser, it's running water through that, which will trickle down into the clothes. Then once it's done rinsing and flushing that out, it'll add through just the normal adding in the tub. Get those clothes nice and wet. But it just started adding that water in there. So it's sensing the load. There are tons of options, and I'm going to run through them on this one real quick. Right now, I've got it set to a normal load. Soil level is normal. We've got it on warm for temperature. You've got pre-wash, deep fill, timed oxy, 2 rinses, fabric softener, and stain boost. All options that you can turn on. Now, some of them you can turn on for some cycles, and some of them you can't. Like on normal and express, you can't turn on deep fill, because that would be for the heavy duty. So if you switch it on heavy duty and hit deep fill, how it's different is it's gonna do a full pre-wash before it actually kicks into this wash cycle. So for this video, we're just doing normal, and I didn't turn anything else on. That way it can kind of get through it in about that amount of time. One note on the timer as well, this thing will jump all over the place as it's sensing the weight, sensing how fast it's going, all that stuff. Sometimes this will drop down to 47, jump back up to 58, and so I don't pay much attention to this, but as you first start out and you set it on normal and you haven't pushed start, it'll give you a time estimation, and that time estimation is pretty close when you first start out, no matter how this kind of jumps around here. So a little note on that little timer. It's good, but take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, so on this one, I'm going to come back and show you once it's filled up with water and agitating, that of course it's agitating correctly. You'll get to see that everything on it works perfect, kind of as if you were standing here yourself, testing it out, see how it jumped the time up a little bit there. That way, you know that everything on it works perfect. You get it home, plug it in, you'll be good to go. And so I'm going to allow it to, like I said, to fill up. We'll come back. I'll show you that it agitates, show you that it drains the water out. Then all said and done, has a nice, fast, smooth final spin cycle. Then once it's completely done, we'll move the clothes over to the dryer, and I'll explain that a little bit and show you that that works perfectly. So we'll come back. All right, so it has filled up now. Now keep in mind, this is not a deep fill wash, but how this works here, we've got just about full submersion on those clothes. But this style of washing with the HE is a little different than the just fill it all the way up, chug, chug, chug with the center agitator and drain out the water. How this works is the plate on the bottom, if you see there, is forcing the clothes up through the middle. Then the clothes go out along the sides, and as they come back around, they hit that agitator plate and the fins on it. And so the clothes are getting agitated along the fins on the bottom of that plate and themselves. If you think about a front load washer, the only agitation that happens on a front load washer is the clothes rolling over themselves, and that's how they get clean. So this is kind of a mixture of the old way of doing it with an agitator and plates and fins, and the traditional way with a front load washer where the clothes agitate on themselves. And you have 4 different ways that that plate on the bottom will move them. It'll move them quickly, it'll move them slowly, and it has some pulsing that it does. And then it'll stop and add a little more water as it goes. And as you can see there, the clothes are moving around great. The agitation with those clothes is great. So it's doing an excellent job here. And that's pretty much how the wash cycle is going to be. Like I said, it might stop and add a little bit more water as it goes. But otherwise, next it'll be draining the water out to move on to the rinse cycle. And we'll come back for that. All right, we're moving out of the wash cycle into the rinse cycle. You can see or hear that drain running nice and fast. It's getting all the water sucked out of there. And from here, it will spin and extract the water out, the soapy water. Then it'll fill up with fresh, clean water for the rinse cycle. It'll agitate for a minute on that. Then when it drains out, we'll be on to the final spin. All right, we're getting started on that final spin cycle. You can hear it running the drain. It's getting up to speed. It's balancing right now. I'll let it get all the way up to its fastest part. The more it extracts water out, the faster it goes as those clothes become lighter. So I'll kind of come back towards the very end here and show you. I just wanted you to see it getting started there with the drain running and self-balancing and all that. All right, we're back. We are at the height of the spin cycle, the fastest that it's gonna spin. Spinning super fast, doing an excellent job extracting the water out of those clothes. As you can see, it's nice and stable, sounds great. Doing an excellent job. So I'm gonna let that go ahead and finish up, and we'll move the clothes over to the dryer and show you the dryer next. The last note I'll make on this, as fast as that's spinning, it's super important when you get this in place that you grab a level and make sure it's level side to side and front to back, and that has leveling feet that you can screw clockwise, counterclockwise to get the perfect adjustment. Definitely want to make sure you do that, because as fast as that's spinning, it needs to be super stable in order to spin out as fast correctly. So just a little note on that. Okay, now we've got the washer finished up. See, it's all cleaned out. Huge capacity on that guy there. It's about the biggest capacity that they make for a top load washer. Dryer, it's plugged in, ready to rock. Same thing, huge capacity. That pretty good says load, looks small in there. You get your lint trap right here. Nice bright LED light inside. And then we come up here to the top. So we have tons of different options. You can pause and read through them if you want, but you have your traditional time dry, you've got normal, heavy duty, bulky, sanitize, and these are sensing cycles, so it's gonna know how long to run it based off of sensing it. Casual, delicates, so these are for your more delicate items. Express, which I think is just like 15 minutes, okay, and you might be able to adjust that up. Okay, so that's actually adjustable, which is kind of cool. So you could go 30 minutes on an express, where it just kind of hits everything on high, kind of like time dry, basically a fast way of doing the time dry. Otherwise you can go normal, heavy duty. So heavy duty sets everything on high. You've got additional options here. You can do energy saver. Wrinkle guard's really cool, where it'll run for 5 minutes, and then I think it stops for 5-10 minutes, and then it'll do that for up to an hour, give you a chance to get back to your clothes and fold them before it gets wrinkled up. You've got a damp signal, not exactly sure what that is. Then you've got your cycle signal, which I love it when you can turn these off or turn them way down if you have kids sleeping, which I always do, or pets. So other things you can adjust here. So we're gonna go ahead and just do normal. I'm gonna turn everything up to high. Okay, and so once everything's set like it is, then we're just gonna hold to start. It's getting started. You can maybe see, yep, everything's tumbling in there like it's supposed to. I'm gonna give that just a minute to heat up, but what I'll do is show you with my heat temperature gun here how hot it is. So in between those two red dots there, it's taking a surface temperature measurement, so it's about 78 degrees on top of the dryer. If I shine this down on the concrete floor, a little cooler down there, it's about 76. So we'll give it just a minute as it warms up here. Of course, you want to check that lint trap after every load, or before you start your load. You want to clean that out. That way your airflow is nice and maximized. But we'll go ahead and open this up. See, our light kicks on, and there's the heating element tube. So you see it's getting warm in there, kicking that hot air out this tube here. It's going to warm up the inside of your dryer anywhere from about 95 up to 195, just depends on how long it's been running and what you hit your heat setting at, because you do have those delicate options. So you could go to delicates and then it's not going to get near as hot, or you could just turn it down here. So once again, we hold the start. And as you can see, nice smooth operation, sounds great. As a matter of fact, with the vent hose on the back, once you get it in place and put that vent hose on, it'd actually be even quieter, because right now we can hear the blower motor since there's no vent hose on the back of it. So that's gonna do it for this set, guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Now you know everything works perfect. Get it home, plug it in, you'll be good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and I'll get these listed up for sale. Thanks, you guys have a great day.